Good morning, Calvary family. It is a beautiful Friday morning. I do hope that each of you are off to a great start of your day. We're gathering this morning for our 5-Minute Friday devotional. And so I just have a word of encouragement to share with all of you this morning. Comes from a passage of scripture, 2 verses that are very near and dear to my heart, and no doubt to many of you. It's a verse or 2 verses that we often memorize. It comes from Proverbs 3 verses 5 and 6. And so I would title this morning, How to Discern the Will of God. And this is actually a devotional, if you will, that Pastor Chuck would often share. I was recently reminded of it by another Calvary pastor, Ed Taylor, out in Aurora, Colorado, and just got me thinking this morning of the necessary encouragement that come from these 2 verses, and really in a variety of ways. I've often looked at Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 as just such a comfort that when maybe we screw up, or maybe when we're struggling with something, that we can come to the Lord and just say, Lord, I trust you. Would you fix this? Would you make my path straight? But I think there's something else that we can pull from it here this morning that I was reminded of. And so Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Or as other translations render it, he will make your paths straight. 3 things we see from this. First, trust in the Lord with all your heart. We have to look to him. Listen, we can't trust a little bit in him and a little bit in the world. We need to be all in faith, expecting, God, you are going to do what you say you're going to do. I can trust your word. You are good. You are sovereign. You are the one who has wisdom and knowledge. You know all things. Lord, I trust in you. Secondly, lean not on your own understanding. So to some degree, that may sound like the first piece, right? Trust in the Lord. Trust in him, not in yourself, but also not in the things of the world. And so that second part, I think, really reminds us, especially, listen, Christian, if you are trying to discern the will of God this morning, don't apply worldly wisdom. I spent almost 13 years in a corporate job. I learned a lot of things there. It's not that it was all foolishness, but the thing is I think sometimes our tendency when we are trying to discern the will of God, when we're trying to determine, Lord, what is it that you would have me do? We seek to apply earthly principles to those things. And listen, we can't. Right now at the church, there's a good bit of work underway to just try and understand, Lord, where do you want us to go? As the world around us has changed in some regard, as aspects of ministry require not a new message, but sometimes new ways of approaching things. Lord, how would you have us do it? Now, our tendency might be, well, let's have some sort of worldly type strategy session. Sometimes those things yield good results, but what do we need to do? What would the word call us to do? Pray. Prayer is our best strategy session, right? Not using earthly tools. And then finally, in all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Well, we need to understand that as he's directing our paths, it means we're walking down those paths. It means we move forward. In the Great Commission, where it says in Matthew 28:19, go. Well, when we read that, we read go, but listen, what Jesus said there was actually, as you go, do these things. The implication was not just a command to start going, to go, but you're going, you're already walking, and as you're walking, do these things. And so for us, what we need to understand is, as we're discerning the will of God, in many respects, it means we're beginning to take steps of faith, knowing that he's going to direct us as we go. Now, I'm not saying run out hastily and do something before you've heard from the Lord, but what I am saying is he's not going to give you the full map. He's going to direct your path. He's going to keep it straight. You're just going to continue to trust in him as you go, okay? And so sometimes it's just about stepping out and saying, Lord, I've heard this much. Here I go. I'm going to trust you to lead me from there. And so I pray that that's an encouragement for you here this morning, a quick 5-minute Devo on this Friday. Just a reminder that as we seek the Lord and to understand how he's directing us, trust in him with your whole heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. He will direct them. God bless you guys today. I pray that you're encouraged and blessed. Look forward to hopefully seeing you this Sunday morning. God bless.